Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you guys are in the world. This is Brandon with Go Tigers Astros. We've got the first of 3 games in a short homestand in actually, you could say towards the end of a short homestand in Houston. The Astros are going to be facing Tampa Bay today. It's kind of a special game today because after the recent trades, the Astros are going to be starting Yusei Kikuchi in his very first time in an Astros uniform. I'm getting a couple of things adjusted on my screen here. There we go. I believe that everything is in order, so we'll go ahead and turn the starting shortly picture off. It's one of my favorite pictures of Altuve. Just making the ridiculous smile. There we go. All's looking good. I made a couple of, I guess you could say, upgrades to the live stream. If you'll notice on the screen, I've added a few simple things for those of you who've actually been to my stream before and watched the video. I added the game number on the side. I do have a chat box now, as you can see right there. I've got a comment from Rinja Mo, who's a really good friend of mine. And it's on a slight delay. I can't remember how long it is, maybe 10 seconds or so. So any comments you make, it'll probably take about 10 seconds for it to pop up. But whenever I do see them, I'll be able to respond. The good thing about this is that by having the responses on the screen like that, instead of having to look in the chat box, not only is it cooler for you guys, but and you don't have to have the screen, the way you have it open in YouTube, whether you're using your phone or your computer. If you want to be able to see the chat box, normally you have to lose some screen size, right? But if you're watching the game, this live stream, and you want to see the chat box, you don't have to worry about that anymore. I've got it on the screen. So I think it's an upgrade. Also for me, because it means I can look at less screens. The way I run this live stream is that I have to alternate between a few things. The MLB TV stream of the game, the YouTube live screen, and then my studio screen and the software that I use to stream to YouTube. And having something as simple as having that chat on the screen makes it a little easier. Batting practice was boring. Batting practice was boring. Were you out hitting the ball or something? Man, I miss going down to the batting cages. Where I used to live in Tokyo, I could get on my bike and ride not too far away to go down to this really cheap batting center, and unfortunately they didn't have a machine that was fast enough. In all of Tokyo, they only have a couple of machines that are really, really fast, and I like to do those really, really fast machines. So whenever I would go play with my friends, the Taiwanese team, their pitches seemed like slow motion to me, so it was much easier to hit. Unfortunately, like I said, there were only a couple of those, and they were not close to my house, so I didn't get to go there very often. It kind of reminds me of the days when I used to play Street Fighter 2 when that first came out. The Turbo version came out, and I started playing the Turbo version with the stars moved up so that the game was playing faster. And then whenever I'd play other people, it was like slow motion. But it does look like we're about to start the game here. Kikuchi's first pitch is a strike, a swing and a miss by Yandy Diaz. I need to move my camera over just a little bit. It's blocking some of the stats. I didn't notice that before. Second pitch is on the way, and this is hit out to left field, and it looks like it's going to go all the way to the wall and bounce off the wall. That's not good. So there's going to be a double on the second pitch of the game. And the batter is Yandy Diaz. Yandy Diaz is on base with a double with no outs to lead off the game. Unfortunately, Kikuchi is starting. He looked good with a 97-mile-per-hour strike, a little high. But the second one, another four-seam fastball, was on that inside corner, but just too low. And Yandy was able to put that one out in left center field. That's going to bring up Dylan Carlson, the left fielder. First pitch to him is 96 miles per hour, a little low. Just testing how long the delay is. Gotcha. Did you count the seconds? Was it about 10 seconds? That's my guess. I can actually change the settings if I want to. I just haven't messed with it. It's kind of default right now. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's low, almost in the dirt, ball 2. Kikuchi hasn't thrown anything less than 96 miles an hour. Based on what I've seen, he throws a lot of fastballs. 2 balls, no strikes to Dylan Carlson. Here comes the pitch. That one's low, but gets him swinging. 95 miles per hour. Strike 1. 2-1 is the count. By the way, just for anyone who happens to drop in, my good friend Rinjia Momo is in the chat today. Well, this doesn't look good. There was the very next pitch, the 2-1 pitch, was hit into the left field Crawford boxes, so Kikuchi gives up a 2-run home run just like that. So 6 pitches into the game, the Astros are down 2-0. Let's hope that this is the short breakdown for Kikuchi, and then from here things just level off and the Astros are able to stay in this game. That pitch was just right over the plate. I didn't get to see how fast it was, probably around 95, 96 miles an hour. Wow. Just like that, Astros down 2-0 on 2 hits. No outs. Next batter is Brandon Lau. He pronounces his name a little differently. First pitch is fouled away for strike 1. Next pitch is a little low. Ball 1, that'll be 1-1. Back and forth about 2 minutes. Really? 1-1 pitch here it is, and that's in there for a strike. A little bit of a breaking ball. That would have been a good pitch to throw on that homer pitch instead of that fastball down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I wonder what the communication is like between Kikuchi and Caratini, who's behind the plate today. That one is right on the outside corner. No more than a finger width from the zone. Called ball. That's 2-2 now. Man, that was a nice looking pitch, but could have gone either way. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. This one's fouled away into the third base stands. Man, I'm already out of coffee. I woke up a little early this morning before my alarm went off. Got everything set up and ready to go and was able to do some extra things and got my coffee made a little early, and I'm already ready for my second cup. That's strike 3. That one was perfectly placed on the outside corner, and Lau was jawing about it and shaking his head. He's talking all the way back to the dugout, but he can go suck it because that, my friend, was a strike. 96 miles per hour right on the outside corner of the zone. I was going to ask you about your thoughts on the trade for Kikuchi. Well, I know that it doesn't look good, bro, with this first start so far. But I would say I'm more excited about it than anything. I believe this is the Astros' first Japanese player. And I'm excited to, since I'm now calling the games, I think it's pretty cool. It'd be kind of neat if he sticks around and he does well. It'd be kind of neat to have that experience while I'm living here in Japan. Man, just like that, very quick, Kikuchi's up in the count, 0-2. First pitch was a strike. Second pitch was a swing and a miss with a changeup. He's throwing some strikes now. 1 out, 0-2 to Christopher Morel, or Morel, however you say his name, and another swing and miss for a 3-pitch strikeout. So 2 outs, 2 strikeouts for Kikuchi after that home run. He just got kind of locked in. Let's hope that continues for the rest of the game, you know. This is a situation where I believe you have to kind of win over the crowd, you know, when you come in like this, and we have to be honest, his numbers aren't stellar, and so it's going to take a lot for the people to accept him and start cheering for him. And anytime he gives up hits or home runs, people aren't going to like it. I mean, the crowd was dead quiet during that home run. This early in the game, maybe he's nervous, and now, just like that, Curtis Mead gets up. His second pitch is fouled away. 2 strikes. Kikuchi has now thrown like 5 or 6 strikes in a row. Yeah, 6 strikes in a row. Count is 0-2. Curtis Mead. Mead. What an interesting name. You like having the last name Beer or L. But I do hope that Kikuchi does well, Mo. Feels weird calling you that. Is it okay for me to just call you Michael? Or Mike? Mikey? I'd rather just call you Michael. I'm used to it. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That next one was outside, and very quickly Kikuchi goes into the next pitch. He's moving pretty quickly at times through some of these pitches, faster than I can call him. When I click back and forth on the screen, he's already thrown a pitch. Now it's 2-2. This pitch is 97 hit into right field, and it sails just into the crowd. But that was kind of a dangerous hit. Dubon looked like he was able to get over there in time if it had been in play, but it was dangerously close to the warning track. So some of the Rays putting the bat on the ball. Count remains 2-2. He's up to 20 pitches now. He's got the signal for the next pitch. Here it comes. That was kind of in the dirt. That'll make it a full count. As far as my feelings about, how Kikuchi works out, it's going to depend on his body of work over the next coming games. Next pitch is fouled at the plate. Count remains full. Man, the umpire throwing the ball out to Kikuchi on the mound, it looked like that was a big labor of effort for him to throw that ball. Man. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. From outside corner, he walked him. So he came back and he almost got 3 outs in a row. He had 2 good strikeouts. Started off really good, 0-2 in this count. Allowed it to come back. He allowed Mead to come back and walk. So he's on first base with 2 outs. That brings up Johnny DeLuca. Here comes the first pitch to DeLuca. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, strike 1. I guess I could remember to put the base runners on. I didn't do that earlier, but I'll correct that now. We got 1 runner on first base. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. That one's inside, hit pretty hard, but it looks like it's going to be playable by Myers in center field, and it is about 10 feet shy of the warning track. So several fly balls, some hard hit balls. The Astros are down 2-0 off 2 hits, 1 home run going into the bottom of the first. Coming up, of course, leadoff batter, we'll have Jose Altuve, my personal hero, followed by Alex Bregman and Yordan Alvarez. Today, Alvarez is going to be actually playing left field. Diaz will be the designated hitter in the 4th slot. After that, Jeremy Pena, John Singleton at first, Jake Myers out in center field, Caratini at catcher today, and Mauricio Dubon is going to be starting in right field. Dubon had that big home run the other day, that 2-run home run that gave the Astros the lead and ultimately the win in that game against the Pirates. The only game that the Astros were able to take from the Pirates after having a miserable season. The Pirates basically did everything they could on defense to give the game to the Astros, but the Astros just weren't hitting the ball. It was a terrible series for me to watch. It just so happens the third game of the series, I had an appointment, so I wasn't able to call that game, and that would be the one that they win, of course. But I noticed that Caratini has brought his average up to 271, and that's pretty nice. Right now, in the lineup, the starting lineup for the Astros, Alex Bregman, let's see, Bregman, John Singleton, and Jake Myers are the only ones who have a batting average below 270. Altuve is at 306. He didn't have a good game the other day. He was as high as 311 on his batting average, and it kind of dropped down to 306. Still good, still really good, but he needs to stop swinging at so much garbage. When he's not focused, he gets a little out of control with his swings. They're going to be facing Shane Baz, who's on the mound for the Rays. His record is 0-1 with a 3.66 ERA. He hasn't had a lot of innings so far. Very first pitch to Altuve is a high fastball inside, swung at and fouled away by Altuve. Altuve, a very high percentage first ball swinger, first pitch swinger. Probably everybody in the MLB, fans and players, know that. It's kind of infamous for first swing on the pitch, first pitch. Next one is a nice pitch in there and a swing and miss by Altuve. That was a good one to make contact on. He just couldn't get the bat on it. 0-2 quickly is the count against Altuve. Kikuchi's no better than a number 3 starter. He seems to be mid, and of course what the Astros are really hoping for right now is that he's able to keep them in the game and just eat up some innings, but according to what I've seen, and that's ball 1 on Altuve, it's 1-2. Next pitch is outside, 2-2. But according to what I've seen and heard, people are saying that based on his performance, Kikuchi is not what you would call an innings eater. Consistently giving 6 runs of 3 runs or less is difficult for him right now. Altuve swings at a slider outside the zone, barely foul tips it, but it's called by the catcher. That's going to be a strikeout for Altuve. So unfortunately, he continues his terrible batting. I'm going to say terrible since the last game. Past couple of games, maybe. Alex Bregman is up. LSU alumni. Ball 1 high in the zone. 1-0. Here comes the second pitch from Baz. That one is low and outside for ball 2. There's been a lot of talk. I listen to several channels right now to get kind of an opinion about the trade. Here comes a 2-0 pitch from Baz on Bregman. Bregman hits this one out to right center. Is it going to drop? No. Great diving catch there. Jose Siri, is that who that is? Yep, that's right. Jose Siri made a diving catch. I thought it was going to drop, but he was able to rush over there and get it. That's going to be out number 2. Okay, yeah, it was a really good play. It wasn't a low Perfido kind of play, but it was good. Yordan Alvarez will come up, and Yordan has been one of the most disappointing batters recently for the Astros. He hasn't done anything. Very first pitch is hit really hard to center field, but it's going to be about maybe 8 feet shy of the track, and that'll be it. On one swing, Alvarez goes down like he normally does. There hasn't been much going on. I'm not sure what's up with Alvarez. His batting average right now is at 295, and it was as high as about 307 or so, and it has just been continually dropping. And when he does get a hit, it has been either just trickles, maybe little singles. He had a really weak grounder that happened to go through the gap, and in the game against the Pirates, he had the really big the really big hit. It wasn't a hit though. It was a fly ball that should have been out. But Cruz, the shortstop for the Pirates, he has got to be the worst shortstop I've ever seen in my life. He went running out into left field. He decided he was going to try to catch the ball. He practically ran into the left fielder. They botched the catch. It bounced off the leg of the left fielder. It hit him in the leg. And then that not only did that allow Chas McCormick a chance to score, but when he tried to make an unnecessary throw to home, it was really wild, and that allowed Yordan Alvarez to get all the way over to third base on the very next batter. Yainer Diaz came up and got a double and drove in Yordan Alvarez. So Cruz cost them 2 runs, and ultimately, after the Dubon home run, that was what sealed the fate of the Pirates. They weren't able to come back and retake the lead. So Cruz had like a double error just on that one play. The catch was an error, and the throw was an error. I mean, and those aren't the only errors. He had other games with 2 errors. And for the season, I looked him up, by the way. Yes, I do look up Pittsburgh Pirates. I do look up Pittsburgh Pirates errors when they're that interesting. He has 21 errors this season. That's insane. Let's see here. I've got a message. Okay, Jose Siri comes up, and his very first bat against Kikuchi is a single out in left field. 1 pitch, 1 hit, and Siri's now 1 for 7 over his last 7 at bats. Jose Caballero is coming up to bat now for the Rays. 4 for 26 in the last 8 games. Not so great. Batting .236 for the season. First pitch to him is right down the gut for strike 1. Michael says Kikuchi is no better than number 3 start. Thanks. You tell Michael I said thanks for letting me know that. What do you think of the Astros trade overall? Well, it was difficult for me to know very much about what they were getting because, I can just kind of look at stats and try to judge from there. And that isn't necessarily the tell of the tape. Second pitch is in there for a strike, or fouled away for a strike. That's 0-2. Kikuchi quickly going into the next pitch. That one's high for ball 1. 1-2 against Caballero. And I've still got a runner on first base, so that's fine. Runner on first, no outs. 1-2 is the count. Here comes the 4th pitch from Kikuchi. No, he makes a move over to first, and Siri's able to get back. This will be the 30th pitch for Kikuchi. But as far as the players that they gave up, I kind of have mixed reactions to it because I love the fielding of Loperfido. This one's grounded. Could be a double play. Pena picks it up and steps on the bag, fires it to first, and we've got an unassisted double play by Jeremy Pena. Perfectly placed, easy ground ball, and he played it perfectly. Altuve backed off. Jeremy just jogged over, tapped the base. Easily puts away the batter, Caballero, for the second out. Next batter is Alex Jackson. First pitch to him is high for ball 1, 1-0. A lot of people are complaining about the Astros giving up too much and getting too little, and I can see that. Next pitch is fouled away for a strike, 1-1. But I kind of feel like Loperfido's batting, first of all, Loperfido's batting has been absolutely abysmal, and there's no way to know in the long run if or when he will ever improve that. So despite his good glove, we need somebody to actually hit the ball, and he wasn't doing that. Next pitch is high and outside for ball 2, 2-1 against Alex Jackson. Kikuchi dealing on the mound for the Astros here in the top of the second. But Jake Bloss, I can't say I'm too bothered about him going. I think a lot of people are also upset about that. Next one is right in there, the top inside corner of the zone for strike 2. The count is even. But Bloss, man, what I've seen of him is that he leaves so many balls over the plate. In the last game that I saw him pitch, they were just launching home runs. They got like 4 or 5 home runs off of him. Next pitch is hit out to right field. Looks like Dubon is going to have plenty of time to get to it, and he does. That'll be the final out of the inning. So after a rough first inning, Kikuchi is able to get a double play and a fly out to end the second. I'm going to seize this opportunity to run to the toilet, and I'll be right back, guys. And that includes you, Michael. Whew, man, I thought I was kind of done with my toilet trips for a while, but that coffee has been working its way through my system. I came back and I sat down. I saw the highlights on the screen of a home run going out, and I thought, oh man, did I miss a Yainer Diaz home run? But it was a highlight from another game. That got me all excited. First pitch to Diaz is in the dirt for ball 1 from Shane Baz. Let's see here. Oh yeah, update. Thanks for reminding me. I completely forget about that. I have to do it manually. I don't have anything to update that myself. Second pitch is outside to Yainer. That's ball 2. There we go. Thank you, Mikey. 2 balls and no strikes. Diaz batting .297. He's been on the tear over the past couple of months. I think since sometime in May or June, he's batting over 500. It's crazy. Third home run average in the American League right now, 323. Next pitch is hit through the hole between shortstop and second, just a few feet away from the glove of the shortstop. Another hit for Diaz. He continues his tear of getting on base, getting hits, just doing it all around. Very, very pleased with Yainer's performance this year. Such a big upgrade over having Maldonado. Jeremy Pena is with 1 runner. Now I got to put the runner back on base. And now this one is a one pitch hit, a single for Jeremy Pena. Now I have 2 runners to put on. We have runners on first and second just like that. Whoops, I'm moving the wrong stuff on the screen. There we go. This is the part of my software that I'd like to have automated. Runners on first and second with no outs. John Singleton comes up to bat. Oh, John takes a big cut at a 97-mile-per-hour fastball high in the zone. Misses it. It's not a bad cut, though. He's only batting 208 with runners in scoring position, but John has a lot of power. He might be able to make something happen here. Just get it way out into the outfield. Next one is just barely outside. 97-mile-per-hour fastball for ball one. 1-1 is the count. I was saying earlier about Bloss, Jake Bloss. Kind of sad to see him go because you never know what he'll do in the future. But right now, they need another dependable starter to eat up some innings. Get it to the relievers. Next pitch is just barely low for ball two. 2-1. 2 hits for the Astros, 3 for the Rays. The Astros trying to eliminate that 2-run lead that the Rays have right now. Pena and Diaz on base, first and second with back-to-back singles. John Singleton takes a rip at that, but it's fouled over towards the dugout for strike 2. 2-2 is the count. I can't remember the other guy. I think there was another guy, right, that the Astros gave up. And honestly, I can't even recall his name, but I don't really know anything about him, to be honest. Here comes the pitch. That's way inside for ball 3, so that's going to be a full count on John Singleton. But Michael, the thing is, hanging on to Bloss and Loperfido was kind of like, we hope that they'll be good. We hope that they'll do better. And I feel like right now the Astros really can't do that. That one is fouled away. The count remains 3-2. The Astros did that with Montero for a long time. I was really glad to see them let him go. I know that they're losing money, but every time they brought him in, man, I would just cringe because I knew he's going to give up runs. Next one is a swing and a miss and a low fastball. Singleton strikes out for the first out. That's 1 away with runners still on first and second. Now this is the thing that's been bothering me about the Astros recently, that they've been doing too much, and that is leaving runners on base. Just to give you an idea of how bad it's been, in the first game against the Pirates in their last series, that's ball 1 outside to Jake Myers, who's now up to bat. They left 21 runners on base, so they were hitting the ball like crazy, but they just and getting on base, walks and that sort of thing, but they weren't converting. They lost the game, of course. Game 2, they did something similar. I think they wound up with close to 15 runners left on base. So just 2 games, they had about 35 runners left on base. That's insane. And they finally started scoring runs in Game 3 off some a timely hit and a massive couple of errors by their shortstop. But if not for that, they could have lost that game very easily. So they need to get with it. They haven't been hitting a lot of home runs, and when they finally did, it wound up winning the game. The Astros have been getting a lot of hits, a lot of singles and doubles and walks and things like that, but then stranding them on base. Hopefully they can change that right now. Jake Myers has a 1-0 count against Shane Baz, and here comes the pitch. Check swing, strike 1. That was a half swing, fouled away. 1-1 is the count here. It was a very quiet trading market this year. Yeah, and it's interesting listening to all the different commentators and YouTube channels about people talking why the Astros weren't able to do any better than what they did. 98 miles per hour right in the zone, taken for strike 2. Myers calls timeout and backs out of the box to take a break. It's some of the ideas that they have about why the Astros weren't able to get players border conspiracy theory, like people not wanting the Astros to get anything because how good they've done over the past 7 years. Maybe sometimes some of the teams, maybe, but I just can't see that being the case overall. Fouled away by Myers. Count remains 1-2. But there weren't a lot of sellers right now. So I didn't think that the Astros had many opportunities, Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one's high. Ball 2, 2-2. It looked like the Astros were threatening a double steal there for a moment. It almost drew a throw from the catcher, but they scampered back. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. 2-2 count against Jake Myers, 2 runners on. The pitch, strike 3, 97 miles per hour, and the upper left out, or I guess you could say upper outside corner of the zone. Jake Myers swings and misses completely, so Singleton and Myers, the 2 lowest batting averages in all of the lineup, they go down in order with strikeouts. That brings up Caratini. First pitch to him is a little inside for ball 1. Caratini batting left-handed. He is actually a switch hitter. Since he came off the injured list, he's been batting .462. He's now batting .271 for the season. Here comes the next pitch to him. That one's right on the inside corner, 98 miles an hour for strike 1. So it's 1-1. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Astros about to possibly do what they usually do and leave runners on. Baz decides to step off the mound and take a break. He disengages. 1-1 is the count. Caratini back in the box. Baz has the sign. Here comes the pitch. Low and inside. Ball 2. 2-1 is the count. Michael, what did the Yankees do, if anything? I wasn't paying attention to that. I heard some of the bigger stuff, like especially with the Mariners getting upgrades, because they're in the Astros division. So I heard through the Astros commentators, but I don't know anything about what the Yankees did. Ooh, that was inside, way inside and low, but Caratini was completely fooled and took a big whiff at that changeup. That evens the count, 2-2. Astros are looking absolutely miserable right now. Oh, his backswing hit the catcher in the mask. Glad he's all right. That's not a place you want to get hit with a bat. Next pitch. Right in there. Oh my gosh. It couldn't have been any more ridiculous than that. The ball was right down the middle. Caratini swung and missed and threw the bat. The bat slipped out of his hands and flew all the way over to the dugout for strike 3. How lame is that? Astros start off with 2 base runners, no outs, and then the next 3 batters all strike out, culminating in Caratini throwing the bat on a strike 3 all the way to the dugout. Thinking back to when I was playing, I started playing from a very young age. I started t-ball when I was very young, maybe not even 5 years old, in Houston. And our first team was called the Grasshoppers. That's why my favorite color is actually green. Because of those memories and how we won all of our games. And so to me, it was just a lucky color for me. So we went undefeated. And we actually won so many games, they wanted us to play in another league with children who were just a little older, but they were already pitching. So our, quote, pitcher on the mound, he wasn't really a pitcher. He just stood next to the coach while the coach put the ball in the pitching machine. And he would field any balls that were hit to the pitcher's mound. But he wasn't really a pitcher. So he had to learn how to pitch so we could play more games because we had won so many games. We won all of our games. They wanted us to keep playing. It was a pretty fun time for us, a good experience. And so I just thought green is lucky color for me. But, man, the reason I mention that is because from that point all the way through my life, playing Little League ball, school ball, high school, all of that, I don't remember once ever throwing my bat. Not once. And yet here we are with a major league player throwing his bat all the way to the dugout. I find that to be absolutely ridiculous. That's just my feeling. Okay, Yandy Diaz is back up. He had a single in the last inning. The very first pitch to him is picked up by my hero, Altuve. And that will be the first out. One pitch, one out here in the top of the third. And I can show you this on the screen for a second. What do we say when Altuve makes a play? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Just messing around. All right. Next batter is Dylan Carlson. Carlson actually had the home run in the first inning. First pitch to him is a strike. Second one coming in really fast from Kikuchi. Low, but swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2. Kikuchi up to how many pitches now? 39? 39 pitches. One out. Here comes the next pitch to Dylan Carlson. I keep wanting to say Carson. Dylan Carlson. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one was outside. Why am I going through my coffee so fast? Whenever the Astros aren't doing as good, I always go through my coffee faster, it seems. Next pitch is a swing and a miss for another strikeout. That was one of the things that Kikuchi actually has on his side, is that he does get a lot of strikeouts. So if the Astros can find a way to diversify or get him, kind of push him to diversify his pitch selection a little bit more, to give up less runs, then I think that he could be a really dominant player. And that's one of the reasons I have hope for him. Speaking of that, the first pitch to Brandon Lau is in there for a strike, low and away. 0-1 with 2 outs here in the top of the third. Here comes the pitch. That one's 96 right in the middle of the zone. Lau gets around way too late, fouls it away. That'll be strike 2. Astros fans need to get up and make some noise. It's 0-2 with 2 outs. They're not being loud at all. They usually get loud at this point. Come on now. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3 got him. Another strikeout by Kikuchi, man. He's been kind of lights out since the first inning, and that's kind of what I was hoping. Get all the nervousness, the kinks worked out in the first inning, just give up 2 runs. It could be worse. I've seen Verlander do that plenty of times. Same thing with Valdez. I mean, the game that the Astros won the other day, Valdez gave up 4 in one inning, but was able to be lights out the rest of the game, and the Astros managed to come back and win. There's no reason to think that the Astros can't get 3 runs and win this game. They just need to keep them locked down. I'm going to mute the game here so it doesn't confuse me. Okay, Michael says it was LB stats going to get worse. Yeah, that's right. They continue to get worse. But the interesting thing, bro, is that nobody's talking about it. Right now, I'm subscribed to like 5 different commentators that do all sorts of updates about Astros, trades, news, rumors. They also respond and do commentary about the coaches' press conferences and stuff like that. I don't bother doing any of those things because I can quickly get the information from those commentators and I can use it here if I need to and share it. But they've been talking about a lot of things, but the one thing that I noticed that they're not talking about right now that I keep seeing is the Astros leaving the freaking runners on base. I mean, how can a team with an overall batting average that's pretty good and getting so many hits and so many walks, how can a team like that not be scoring more runs? And it's because when the hits really count the most, they haven't been getting them most of the time. They started off the year doing that, and then they finally kicked it into high gear and started scoring, and then they went right back to that after the All-Star break, so they need to really kick it in high gear. Mauricio Dubon is now up to bat. First pitch to him, 94, high in the zone. He fouls it away. That'll be strike 1, 0-1. Baz up to 33 pitches, so he and Kikuchi are about the same in pitch count, not too different. one hit difference between the Rays and the Astros. This one's high and outside for ball one, 1-1. Yanks got Jazz and 2 relievers. Yanks got Jazz? Did they import it from Louisiana? Womp womp. Or did they go to Utah to get the Jazz? 1-1 pitch. That one's a good 6 or 7 inches out of the zone. That'll be ball 2. Good eye by Dubon. Dubon was the hero the other day, hitting that 2-run shot that would eventually win the game for them. Put the Astros ahead by 1, but that's all they needed. This one's low and away, ball 3. 3-1. I actually remembered to update my bases. I'm proud of myself. Here comes a 3-1 pitch from Baz to Dubon. This one's inside, hit pretty hard. It looks like it's going to drop. Is it? No, he's going to get over there. Left center field all the way to the warning track, but the center fielder was able to rush over. It looked like it was going to bounce off the wall by the way the center fielder was running. But actually, he was just trying to get underneath the ball so he could kind of set up and get it. He was able to get it on the light jog. Man, that was so close to being a double for Dubon. That would have been a good start to this inning. But it results in out number 1. And that will bring up my hero, Jose Altuve. The little engine that could. The first pitch to him is low and outside for ball 1. I think that's probably how I would always throw to Altuve on the first pitch. I would throw a low and breaking ball that's far off the plate, hoping that he would just swing at it. I wouldn't put it anywhere near the strike zone. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. This one is hit right up the middle, but the second baseman is right there, and he gets it on the 1 hop, sends it over to first base. That was kind of a rob. The second baseman was playing right behind second base, and Altuve hit it straight up the middle, right over the head of the pitcher. It was a good hit, just not quite in the right spot. He needed to have it a little more over to the left to get that through. Just didn't pan out. Bregman comes up, and man, his overall August batting average is .334, on base percentage of nearly .600. Wow, the first pitch to him is low and outside by a good 2 or 3 inches, and called strike 1. Bregman doesn't look too upset about it. He just nods at the umpire like, okay, I've got it. He had a line out in the first inning, so he's making some contact. Let's see if he can do anything here. Second pitch, unlike him to take a ball in the zone for strike 2, Bregman normally a really good eye, draws walks, gets high in the count most of the time. It's not often he's down 0-2, but one of those is not on him. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. This one's grounded to the shortstop. He's going to have a hard play. He's going to make a wild throw, and Bregman is going to be safe as a result. He had to rush over to his right to keep that ball from going through the middle. I believe that was Siri. Is that right? Jose Siri, is that, if I recognize him? No, that's wrong. Siri's the center fielder, man. It's Caballero, the shortstop. He had to rush over to his left and keep that ball from going into center field, and he made a spinning throw. That looked more like a Street Fighter move than a throw, and it was way off target, went all the way to the wall over by the audience, or the crowd, rather. Bregman's safe at first. So Bregman's on first, and that brings up Yordan Alvarez, who flew out, I believe, on 1 pitch, his first at bat. So 2 outs. That one's off the plate. Ball 1. Yeah, since the Astros have been at home in this series, Yordan is 4 for 23. That's how cold he's been. 1 ball, no strikes. Next pitch is hit pretty hard, but foul ball. Out to the crowd on the left side. 1-1 is the count. Bregman on first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Good scouting report of Altuve. I don't know why the pitchers try to pitch him anywhere near the zone in the first pitch, and I'm being serious with that. He's kind of infamous, and sometimes he makes them pay for it. He gets a leadoff hit or he gets a home run. There's no reason to pitch right in the zone ever to Altuve. Just stay on the fringe of the zone or outside the zone. Next pitch is ball. That'll be 2-1 to Jordan. Baz quickly gets the signal, comes in with the next pitch. This one's crushed, but is it going to be foul? Yes. Oh, my gosh. Jordan Alvarez crushes one out to right field, and it goes into the second upper deck, but it's foul by about 30 feet. That ball was just absolutely hammered. I don't know if they have an exit velocity on that, but it was hit. Now, this next one is hit out to left field. It's all the way to the walls, but it's only going to go to the warning track. So Jordan gives the ball 2 back-to-back rides, but is not able to do anything with it. So close to tying the game with one swing, but instead, just like usual, the Astros strand another runner on base. And we'll go into the top of the fourth. The Astros down 2-0, but they are even in hits with the Rays, 3-3. Let's take a look at the Astros runners left on base right now so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, here's the thing. The way the runners left on base is counted on the MLB site, I figured this out. The way they count it is if a batter comes up and there's a runner on base. Let me mute this. It's difficult hearing these commercials going in my ear while I'm trying to talk. Basically, if there's a runner on base and let's say Altuve comes up and strikes out, that's counted as a left on base for him. If the next batter comes up, Alex Bregman, and strikes out, then that's also counted as a left on base for him. But at the end of the inning, whenever they get the third out, if they have one runner on base, that counts towards the team as one left on base, not multiple. So you have to take those things into consideration if you're looking at the stats on the MLB TV website. I just updated my runners. There's no one on base now. Yes, left on base count 3. Yeah, I believe that's right. Bregman, Diaz, and Pena, if I'm not mistaken. In the past 2 innings, that is, right? Let me take a look. Yeah, in the second and third inning, they left 3 runners on. And is that correct? Okay, the first pitch is already on the way from Kikuchi, and it's low, and it bounces in the dirt and goes back to the back screen for ball 1. Christopher Morel is batting. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to him. A swing and a miss on a low changeup. Counts even at 1-1. But if you want to look at how many left on base batters the Astros have overall, based on every batter having an opportunity to drive them in, that's where it gets crazy. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 chances to drive in a runner, and they failed to do it so far this game. Next pitch, swing and a miss, right in the bottom of the zone. Nice pitch by Kikuchi, 84 mile per hour. Looked like a changeup. He's up to 48 pitches, and that's strike 2. 2-2 is the count. Not sure what's going on there. That was weird. The ball just trickled away from the catcher, from Caratini, and he decided to change the ball out. Okay, it must have been thrown to him by Kikuchi. He wanted to change the ball. They didn't show it on screen, so I didn't know what was going on. That was weird. 2-2 against Morel. Here comes the pitch. Nice swing and a miss. Another strikeout by Kikuchi. 5 strikeouts so far. And we're just in the beginning of the 4th inning. Kikuchi is living up to his reputation as a strikeout guy. So like I said, this is why I have hope for him, because swinging a miss rather, to Curtis Mead, the very first pitch, 0-1 with 1 out. He walked in the first inning. Here comes the next pitch. Kikuchi moving pretty quickly now. Another swing and a miss on the outside corner. So first one was on the inside corner, a little low. Next one was on the outside corner, a little low. 2 swings, 2 misses. 0-2. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and bouncer over to the right side. It's going to be a little foul. Singleton has no play on that one. Count will remain 0-2. But the thing is, my take on the Astros after watching them over the past few years is that they're generally pretty good sometimes whenever they bring in a pitcher, whether it's like from their farm system or a trade or whatever. It seems that they're able to work with them in the coaching staff, the pitch coach staff, kind of help diversify their repertoire, you know. Next pitch is low and in the dirt. It bounces for ball 1-2. And some of the other commentators, the Astro commentators, are saying the same thing over the past several days since the trade was announced. That's what they hope that they can do, that the staff can do with Kikuchi, is improve his repertoire and get his runs down, help him eat up more innings. Next pitch is high for ball 2-2. 2-2 to Curtis Mead. Here comes the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? They said yeah. Strike 3. Awesome. Strikeout number 6 for Kikuchi. 2 strikeouts this inning and 6 overall. 3 2/3 in. Man. Curtis Mead held that bat out there and he tried to make it look like he didn't go, but he went. Here, the next batter here is Johnny DeLuca. First pitch to him is on the outside for a strike. Kikuchi just dealing strikes like they're going out of style here. 0-1 is the count. He flew out in first and is batting 182 for the season. Next pitch to him, foul tip, swing and a miss. Strike 2, 0-2. Man, I like this. I want to see more of this. I want to see him just keep striking guys out. Let's go for 18 strikeouts. Why not, man? Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss on the outside corner. 3 straight strikeouts for Kikuchi. And he struck out Johnny DeLuca on 3 straight. Holy crap, that's his 7th strikeout of the game. At the end of 4, he has 7 strikeouts. So, man, how about that? I hope that's something that can get the Astros fans riled up. We're through 4 innings. He's only given up 2 runs. I don't think that that's bad. If he can keep doing this for just 2 more innings, that's all we need. 2 runs in 6 innings and just lots of strikeouts. Man. Holy crap, bro. Judge is up to 40 home runs already. Well, he came back because for a while there I was kind of like, man, why is Judge not hitting more home runs? And then he kind of went on a tear. I didn't realize he was already up to 40. Is he trying to go for 80 this year? Yeah, that won't happen, but still, even to get to 30 is good, but 40 for most players is practically unreachable. Man, that's awesome. Who did he hit that home run against? Which team? I'm not even sure. Is that a game that's going right now? This is going to be the weakest cup of coffee I've probably ever made because I'm using a pour over. Instead of going and getting another filter and some fresh coffee grounds, I'm just pouring more hot water into my previous filter. This will be the 3rd time I've poured this hot water through this same coffee filter. But it's okay for me personally. I don't know about you guys, but if I get too many fresh cups of coffee, 2 or 3 fresh cups of coffee, it's too much caffeine, gives me a headache. But by making the same coffee a couple of times with the same filter, same coffee grounds, it makes it weaker and weaker, and I can drink it and enjoy it. Add a little milk, and it doesn't give me a headache, especially if I don't have much food on my stomach. Yainer Diaz is up to bat. Takes a good hack at the first pitch from Baz, but it's a little low, and he gets it by him for strike 1. That was a really nice swing by Diaz. Looking good. Diaz, his batting average is knocking at the door of 300. It's 299 right now. And here comes the next pitch to him. In the dirt outside, ball 1. 1-1. Yainer Diaz. What they called the catcher of the future, but he's a little more diverse than that. He can do a lot more than just catch. He's actually a pretty fast runner, too. He can play first base. He's really good. That one's low and outside, check swing. They say he didn't go. That's ball 2 on an 80-mile-per-hour changeup, apparently. Baz now at 50 pitches. It looks like the Rays coach just got a warning. The umpire's yelling at him to be quiet and stay in the dugout because he didn't like that check swing call. But it didn't look like he went around. I didn't see a replay, though. That one is way outside for ball 3. So Yainer Diaz is ahead in the count, 3-1. Let's see if he can either get a hit here or get a walk. We can have a leadoff runner and strand him later. Here comes the 52nd pitch by Baz. That one's off the plate by a good 4 or 5 inches. It's going to be ball 4. Yainer Diaz draws a walk, and I actually remembered to immediately go and put him on first base. Look at that, guys. I'm getting better. But that's been an actual problem for me consistently since I started streaming. This is only about my 13th game, and I have to keep manually putting some of these things in. Jeremy Pena comes up. He had a single in the the second, rather. Whoa. He almost leaned in to swing at that, but had to pull out of the way as it almost clipped him in the arms. And that's ball 1. The Rangers are losing 6-3 to the Red Sox in the 4th inning. I'd like to see that. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Diaz is on first. This one's hit hard down the left side. Diaz is going to try to get to third. He books it over there. Pena's going to slide into second with a double. What a beautiful, beautiful set of base running on the part of Diaz and Pena both. Pena ripped the ball down the left side past the third baseman. The left fielder actually had to run over to get to it. He was playing so deep out there. He was not playing for the pool. And Diaz realized that he had time to get over to third, and he booked it. Like I said, Diaz is a big guy, but man, he can move. Pena is an absolute speedster. And when he saw where that ball was at, he took off and he made the break for second, slid in there just in time. So Pena is on second base. Diaz is on third with no outs. Astros with their best opportunity so far. Pena having a great game. Pena and Diaz both having a great game. Back-to-back at-bats, getting themselves on base, and this time they're giving the Astros a chance to move them in from second and third. They're having a big meeting on the mound right now. The coach is out there yelling at the umpire again. I'm not sure why the coach is so angry with the umpire. I think it's because of the check swing. Yeah, the pitching coach is out there yelling at the umpire. It's the pitching coach. And the head coach ran out there and grabbed him to try to get him off the field and keep him from getting tossed, rather. He was so angry about that check swing. But it's kind of silly. It's kind of silly to come out there after the next batter. They're basically complaining, there's a guy on third now because of you. Called the ambulance. Here comes the pitch to John Singleton. Low and inside, swing and a miss, strike 1. It's possible that he may have been kicked out. Yeah, he was. He was kicked out of the game. The pitching coach for the Rays was kicked out. He was told to leave. Another low and inside pitch to John Singleton, swing and a miss, 0-2. And by the way, Michael, if you want another scouting report on John Singleton, I can give it to you. Just throw breaking balls. He can't seem to hit them. He always swings and misses at those freaking breaking balls. I don't get it. 0-2. Here comes the 57th pitch from Baz. Check swing on a 98-mile-per-hour fastball way up out of the zone. Astros with 2 runners on and no outs. Singleton trying to do something. All we need Singleton to do is get a single. Single McSingleton. Single McSingleton, get a single. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one's outside for ball 1, 1-2. Against Toronto. Good. destroy Toronto. 101 RBIs. Crap, man. That's insane. 1-2 pitch to Singleton, and it's going to be a single. Single McSingleton hits a single to center field. Pena will go to third. Pena is held up. It wasn't very deep, so he wasn't able to score, but Diaz scores. The Astros cut the lead by 1. It's now 2-1. Astros are leading with 5 hits to the Rays 3. John Singleton is able to get the high fastball that he wanted. Thank God they didn't throw another breaking ball to him. They're not listening to my scouting report. Pena made a turn, but the coach held him up, and that was a wise decision. The ball was able to get back in the infield too quickly. So Jake Myers is up. We have runners on the corner. I need to adjust that on the screen. Singleton on first, Pena on third. Jake Myers takes a strike for an 0-1 count. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. Astros are actually below the league average. Not surprising. League average is 51%. Astros average is like 41%. That's how terrible it is when they have runners in scoring position. Absolutely ridiculous. Fouled away for strike 2. Jake Myers, probably the number 1 player on the Astros team to start off the count 0-2. I would say more than 65% of the time, maybe 70% of the time, Myers starts off 0-2. I don't know how he does it. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. This is hit hard to right field. It looks like it might go all the way to the wall. It is caught, but Pena will easily be able to tag and get home. That's going to tie the game. Myers gets a hit all the way out to the wall in right field. A good solid hit. Missed a home run just by a few feet with a line drive shot. That will be the first out. And Singleton has to stay on first base. But it does the job of tying the game and getting the Astros back into this. Nice job there by Jake getting the sacrifice fly. That brings up Victor Caratini. Takes the very first pitch for a ball outside. So now we're tied up at 2 with 1 out, 1 runner on first. Caratini threw his bat on a strikeout, went all the way over to the Astros dugout. Next pitch is on the outside corner for strike 1. Count is 1-1. Sometimes the stuff is happening so fast and it's so strange what's going on. It's difficult to describe quickly. This pitch is right down the middle and it's flied out to left field. Looks like nothing's doing there. Left fielder takes it in, no problem. Tosses it in. Singleton has to retreat to first base. 2 outs. Five hits, 2 runs for the Astros. 3 hits, 2 runs for the Rays. Dubon comes up. He flew out in the 3rd inning. Batting .269 for the season. Here comes the first pitch to him. This one's hit right down the line and just barely foul. That would have been an extra base hit. Probably would have moved Singleton over to 3rd. But just foul. 0-1. I keep forgetting to add more hot water to my pour over here. I need to fill that up. There we go. Okay. No balls, 1 strike to Dubon. Here comes the pitch from Baz. This one is grounded to the 3rd baseman. He's able to get it and send it to 2nd. Easily gets Singleton for the force. That will end the inning, but not before the Astros tie up the game. Astros finally start moving in some of their base runners. In this inning, they only stranded 1 at the end of the inning. But how many... See, Jake Myers with his fly out, he strands 1 because he's not able to advance Singleton. Caratini has now had opportunities to bring in 3 runners, but has not. So he has 3 left on base. Dubon has 1 left on base. But the good thing is that my hero, Jose Altuve, will be coming up in the bottom of the 5th inning. and I'm looking for him to actually do something. He's had 2 at-bats, and nothing has come of it so far. 1 strikeout. Hopefully he can lead off the Astros with a really big bottom of the 5th. But coming up for the Tampa Bay Rays in the top of the 5th in just a moment, it's going to be Jose Siri, followed by Jose Caballero, and then Alex Jackson. Yusei Kikuchi is on the mound. He'll be in for his 5th inning. I believe he's got about, 7 strikeouts right now? That's right. So stats for Kikuchi right now in his first start with the Astros through 4 innings. 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Not bad. As long as he keeps it locked down right now and stays in control and focused, this could be a really excellent first outing and kind of calm the fears of many of the Astros fans right now, and even some of the commentators that aren't believers. But I just have a good feeling. I think that he can work with the coaches, like I said, the pitching coaches, and really turn his career around and turn the season around. First batter is up. First pitch to him is a swing and miss, 95-mile-per-hour fastball for strike 1. He continues the strike barrage. Jose Siri can't connect on that one. Oh, by the way, Judge's home run went 477 feet. Next pitch to Jose Siri is outside for ball 1. That's 1-1. Dude, are they going to test Aaron Judge for steroids? I mean, when he gets to 500 feet, they'll be like, hey, man, listen, you got 100 home runs and 500 feet on all your home runs. You got to be tested. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. MLB already put his home run highlights on YouTube. Yeah, man, I can't blame him. Do you know the exit velocity on that? It must have been really high. At least 118 miles an hour, probably. 119, maybe more. Next pitch, 1-2 in the dirt. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Oh, man. I bet you that pitching coach is in the dugout right now, or in the locker room watching that, and he's getting really PO'd because he's been complaining so much about those check swing calls. But that's the 8th strikeout for Kikuchi through 4 1/3 innings. Here comes the first pitch. In there for a strike on the outside corner to Jose Caballero. Next pitch is a little high and outside by about a foot. That's ball 1. 1-1. Count is even. Caballero grounded out in the 2nd inning, batting .236 for the season. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. This one's low in there, and he fouls it up and away. It's going to go out of play. That's strike 2. Kikuchi ahead 1-2 with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. It's got to be weird, to settle in. You get traded, and just a few days later, you're already in a different place, a different uniform, and pitching on the mound. Check swing, did this go around? He says safe. That's going to be... Man, he gets a lot of check swings, Kikuchi does. That's going to be ball 2. 2-2 is the count. Did I update my base runners? Yeah, I forgot to change them. My bad. I'll correct that right now. Next pitch is off. It's a little out. That's going to be ball 3. Full count on Caballero. Kikuchi gets the sign. He shakes off a couple, but he finally has what he wants. Here comes the pitch. Nice swing and a miss. Another strikeout on that low pitch. Beautiful 89-mile-per-hour breaking ball. Man. Second out of the inning. And the 9th strikeout. 9 strikeouts now for Kikuchi in this game so far. Next batter is Alex Jackson. Swing and a miss. Same identical pitch to that last one that struck out the last batter. Batter steps out and he's having a little conversation with the umpire for some reason. Not sure exactly what's going on there. This will be the 70th pitch from Kikuchi. The crowd is kind of quiet right now. I'm really kind of disappointed. They should be giving some more support and cheering a little more. There's another swing and a miss on the outside corner. The bell rings out in Minute Maid Park to let the crowd know there are 2 outs and 2 strikes. They cheer a little bit, kind of half-hearted in my opinion compared to usual. I think that they need to stand up and cheer, give him some support, man. 70 pitches now. 0-2 is the count against Jackson. Here comes Kikuchi's delivery. Low and in there, he gets a check swing, and he went strike 3. Another strike. 10 strikeouts now for Kikuchi here at the end of the 5th inning. He shuts down the Rays like nobody's business. So the Rays come out in the 1st inning, and it looks really scary with a hit, or rather a walk and then a hit, a home run, or was it a hit and then a home run, a base hit and a home run, getting off to a really early lead, 2-0. But since then, Kikuchi has been lights out, just getting tons of strikeouts. He's averaging 2 strikeouts per inning right now. 10 strikeouts. Out of the 15 outs the Astros have, 10 are strikeouts. That's crazy. Can you imagine somebody having 2 strikeouts every inning for 9 innings? That would be absolutely insane. Let me mute this and take a look at the chat right quick. 115 mile per hour exit velocity. Okay, that's still high. Not as high as I was expecting. But I guess it was a perfect combination of variables, right? He hit it on the right part of the bat, at the right angle, had the right atmosphere and wind and everything to help him out. So a guy that big, man, my God. Can you imagine? See, I think about this sometimes. A guy like Altuve, he's only like 5'6". He's so tiny, and yet he's able to get some power on the ball and hit it really hard, and he's come up with some clutch home runs. He's definitely not a monstrous home run hitter. He's not going to hit it 450 or 460 feet unless he gets really lucky. But can you imagine a guy like Altuve finding himself in a body like Aaron Judge? Suddenly he's able to put a lot more power into his hitting. Speaking of Altuve, he is now up to bat facing Shane Baz to lead off the inning. Pitch on the outside corner, swing and a miss. Not a really bad pitch, but Altuve was kind of lined up a little too far away from the plate to make a good contact on that one. So strike 1. As Baz gets closer to 70 pitches, here comes the next pitch. Altuve shows bunt, but pulls back. That ball was really low in the dirt, so that's going to be a 1-1 count. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Altuve. Another one right on the outside corner. That one was about 3 inches off. Altuve swings and misses. The count is 1-2 now. Here's another stat for you. Stanton had 4 batted balls with exit velocity over 110 in the previous game. 120 was hard. Wow. Man, hitting the ball that hard a couple of times is one thing, but to do it several times is amazing. Altuve hits this one out to right field. It's going to be easily playable for the right fielder. He puts it away, so Altuve is unfortunately able to do anything this time. And that'll be 1 out. Brings up LSU power Alex Bregman. Had a really great walk-off home run against the Dodgers. That was really awesome. Couldn't have been a better batter to be up, honest, against the Dodgers. I loved that. First pitch to him is fouled away, kind of high and outside, but right on the corner. Strike 1. Man. 4 over 110 with 120. That's crazy. 120 is close to the hardest of the season, I believe. 0-1, here comes the pitch. This one is hit to the left field, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Big bounce off the wall. Easy double for Bregman. He's going to walk into second base. Beautiful hit by Bregman. Just nice, easy swing. I know that Bregman is not having a stellar year right now. He's batting .252. He has managed to bring that up a lot since he started. His season was so bad, there was a lot of trade speculation going around. People really kind of turning and wanting him to just go, like it's time for him to go. He's not doing his job, and I get it. But usually he starts off slow, they say. But he just wasn't kicking it in, and it wasn't until later that he started to do it. Alvarez takes the first pitch for ball one. Let me get Bregman on second there. There we go. But Bregman still has a really good patience at the plate and a good eye. Next one by Alvarez, a swing and a tap to down the first baseline. A very, very weak hit. Another disappointing at bat by Alvarez, but Bregman, I believe, advances. Yes, he does. He advances to third, so you could say a sacrifice. Weak hit by Alvarez advances Bregman to third, but now there are two outs. That brings up Yainer Diaz, who has probably the best chance in the lineup right now of getting a good hit and scoring Bregman. Let's see if he can do that. He has a walk and a hit this game. First pitch is wild. That was dangerous. But the catcher was able to snatch it. That was a great catch, saving a run from scoring. Bregman could have easily scored on that wild pitch. 1-0. With runners in scoring position, Yainer's batting .343, eighth in the American League overall, with 52 RBIs. Here comes the pitch to him. Little high and outside, swing and a miss, though. 1-1. Hashiram X. Hey, thanks for joining. Give me a second. I'll answer that question for you. The 1-1 pitch from Baz to Diaz. A terrible swing by Diaz. That ball fooled him, and he just kind of threw the bat out there. He didn't get a full swing on it, but it wouldn't have mattered. The ball was so far out. Looked like a slider. Completely threw him off. Strike two. That was like a cross between a check swing and a full swing. It was somewhere in between. It was very, very sad looking. Let's see if he can do better this time. Runner on third, 1-2 pitch to Diaz. Swing and a miss, strike three. That'll do it for the Astros in this inning. Nothing doing. Another runner left on base. Not surprising. The Astros with an excellent chance there to get one run and take the lead, but they're not able to do it. The score remains 2-2. The Astros are tied with the Rays going into the top of the sixth. Whoops. I don't know what happened there. My live stream just paused. I was trying to mute it, and I accidentally clicked on the pause button. I didn't mean to do that. But let me take a look at your question again. You said, how does Yusei look as far as speed and mechanics? His speed is really good. A lot of his pitches, his four-seam fastballs are consistently around 95 and 96. And generally only have been underneath that a couple of times through this whole game. Mechanics look great, especially after the first inning. He had a really rough first inning, and he left some pitches out over the plate, gave them opportunities to hit it, and of course they punished him with that home run. It wasn't a monstrous home run, but it was a no-doubter. It was a solid hit. And after that, he just really started taking command, and the Rays haven't even threatened since then. They've had like one base runner, and he got the double play, and he shut the next batter down. He's just continually thrown good pitches. He's gotten a lot of great strikeouts. Another thing that made the pitching coach mad for the Rays is that there were a lot of check swings. Yusei's been getting a ton of check swings from the batters. They're showing some highlights right now on MLB TV. And he's gotten several strikeouts on those check swings. And the pitching coach for the Rays got so angry about it that he came out and started yelling at the umpire. They kicked him out of the game. But what can you do? Yusei's getting them to swing and miss. Yandy Diaz is up to bat. The first pitch to him is outside for a ball. The second pitch just misses. It looks like it was on the corner there, but they call it ball two. It's 2-0. Yusei up now to 73 pitches. You got me calling him Yusei now instead of Kikuchi, but that's fine. Kikuchi calls timeout, and Yiner's going to come out to the mound. They're going to have a little discussion. Most consecutive strikeouts in franchise history is 8. And Kikuchi has tied that. Think about that, okay? The most consecutive strikeouts in Astros history, 8. And right now, Kikuchi has tied that. Current count is 2-0. Next pitch is right in there for a strike. Strike one. 2-1 against Diaz, Yandy Diaz. Judge's home run velocity was 117.5. Well, that's quite different than 115. Next pitch is in there for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If Kikuchi can get this strikeout here, he will have the most strikeouts in a row in franchise history for the Astros. But that ball is way outside. That's the wildest throw I've seen so far from him. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count. Crowd's really quiet. They don't realize what's going on here. Next pitch is low and in the dirt. It bounces for a ball. He's going to walk him. So unfortunate. He was 1 pitch away from getting the franchise record for strikeouts in a row with 9. 9 in a row. But he just lost control on the last 2 pitches a little bit. The first one way outside, the second one in the dirt. 6 sliders, 3 changeups, and 1 four-seam fastball on those strikeouts, by the way, on those 10 strikeouts. Next batter takes a strike right down the middle. That's Dylan Carlson, 86 miles per hour. That's the pitch he needed on that last batter, man. Runner on first base. I need to update that on my screen. Next pitch on the outside corner, but just a little out. That'll be ball 1. That was not a bad pitch, but not close enough to be called a strike. One ball, 1 strike. Runner on first, no outs. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, low in the zone. That was a beautiful pitch. Nice foul tip. The Rays are taking a lot of swipes at these balls and just not able to connect. From the second inning on, Kikuchi has just been shutting them down. The only way they were able to get a runner on now is to get that walk, and even that was a little lucky. He just missed that franchise record. That's disappointing. I wish he had gotten that. That would have been a great start for him with the Astros. He steps off the mound and makes a fake throw over to first base to get the runner back, take a break. Count is 1-2. Kikuchi on 80 pitches now, and here comes the delivery. Check swing. Seen a lot of those, but this time he doesn't go around. That's going to even the count, 2-2. Shaky start, but he's killing it. Yeah, man. Like I said earlier, if he can get through this inning without any damage, then he did his job as far as I'm concerned. 90 miles an hour in the dirt. That's going to be another full count. Dylan Carlson making Kikuchi work on this at bat. Runner on first base here in the top of the 6th, no outs. Here comes the pitch from the full count. Gets a swing and a miss for his 11th strikeout. Man, that was the pitch he really needed on that last batter. If he had done that on Diaz, that would have been so amazing. Man, Carlson missed that ball by a good 6 inches. That was so much movement. That was a 90-mile-per-hour slider in the bottom of the zone. Beautiful pitch. 1 out, 83 pitches. Next batter is Brandon Lowell. He fouls the first pitch away for strike 1. Diaz was stealing on that one, but he'll have to go back to first base on that foul ball. 0-1 with 1 out. Runner still on first base. Kikuchi gets the sign, and here comes the pitch. Low and away, ball 1, 1-1. It's the count. Man, 117.5. That's crazy. 1-1 is the count, and here comes the pitch. Lau hits this one right back to Kikuchi, who goes to second. They're not able to turn the double play. The toss to Pena was a little wide, so Pena wasn't able to quickly go to first, and that's all they're going to get. Kikuchi pats his chest, and he says, "That was on me." But the Astros do get one out, and now they have two in the inning with Christopher Morel, who will be coming up in just a moment. Let's see what Morel has done today. 2 strikeouts, not surprising. He rips the very first pitch very hard down the left field line and foul by about 20 feet, but that was a very hard hit. 0-1, batting .199 for the season. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Kikuchi. That one's a bouncer in the dirt. Caratini is able to stop it and keep the runner from advancing. Ball 1, 1-1. Looks like they've got... Who's warming up in the bullpen there? Is that Scott? I can't see. The Astros have got someone warming up in the bullpen right now. This will be the 89th pitch for Kikuchi. It's fouled away, bounced down the third base line towards the dugout. That'll be strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kikuchi going for his 12th strikeout here and in the inning. Let's see if he can get it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Christopher Morel. Here's the pitch. Bounced down the third base side again. Foul. Count remains 1-2. Ganbare. Let's do it, Kikuchi. Here comes the pitch. High and outside. That will even the count 2-2. So we got 1 runner on first, 2 outs, 2-2 count against Christopher Morel. Yusei Kikuchi dealing on the mound, trying to get his 12th strikeout of the game. Keep this game tied at 2 and go into the bottom of the 6th, give the Astros a chance to do something. He steps off the mound for a moment, delivers a fake throw to first, takes a quick break. Now he's back on the rubber looking for the sign. He's got what he wants. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Right down the middle, fouled back. Caratini got really upset. That one bounced off his glove, and he immediately got upset because if he had caught that one, that would have been strike 3. If you look at the replay there, he just barely missed it. Caratini had an immediate reaction, getting upset for not catching that one, but you can't catch all of those tips. 2-2 pitch. That one is in the dirt. The count will be full again. I think this is the 3rd full count this inning for Kikuchi. Crowd needs to wake up. They're completely dead right now. They need to stand up and make some noise, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Caratini calls timeout, goes out to the mound to talk to Kikuchi. Bregman is over to chat with them too. I wonder if they're talking about their fantasy league right now. Maybe making some important trades or something. Let's see. It says right now I got 2 people in the chat, or 2 people watching rather. Whether they're in the chat or not, I don't know. I know, Michael, you're around. Whoever else is here listening or viewing, thanks for being here. I'm broadcasting my chat, my live play-by-play from Hiroshima, Japan, actually. Here comes the full count pitch. That one's in the dirt. That's going to be a walk. Unfortunately, the inning is extended as Kikuchi puts on another runner with 2 walks, and it looks like they're going to end it right there, unfortunately, for Kikuchi. Espada is walking out to the mound with 2 runners on and 2 outs. His spot is clapping for Kikuchi as he walks out, giving him a congratulatory walk-off. All the Astros are in, patting him and telling him good job. The crowd is cheering as he walks off the field, and he gives the tip of the hat. I'm really glad to see that. He did a great job. Can't complain about that start. He didn't quite get through the 6th inning, and he did walk a couple of runners this inning, but man, what a performance with those pitches. He ends up with 11 strikeouts. I'd like to see the amount of swings and misses and strikes in the zone versus balls. It's just been crazy. Man. Once again, I'm a little disappointed he didn't get the 9 strikeouts in a row, and he didn't get the complete 6th inning, the complete 6 innings of pitching. But still, what a great performance. And I need to update my base runners. The Rays have 2 runners on base right now, first and second, with 2 outs off 2 walks here in the top of the 6th. The game is tied 2-2. Astros with 6 hits, Rays with 3. Oh, man. If the Astros lose this game, I don't believe that it's going to be any fault of Kikuchi. It's going to be on the shoulders of the relievers and the batters. Who knew this was going to turn into a pitcher's duel? Yeah, I don't think anybody would have guessed that. I don't believe that Shane Baz has pitched many innings this year. I don't even know how long he's been in the MLB. I don't really know anything about him. I saw some quick stats about him at the beginning of the game. Yeah, I was right. Actually, it's Taylor Scott who's in the game now for the Astros. He delivers the first pitch against Curtis Mead, and that's going to be outside for a ball. He's pitched 52 innings. His ERA is 1.37. He's been pretty solid for the Astros so far. He's facing 2 runners on left by Kikuchi with 2 outs. Here comes the next pitch. On the outside corner, check swing, but man, they didn't call that one a ball. The umpire laid off, ball 2, but that was right in the upper corner of the zone. Missed call there. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That one's further outside for ball 3. So 3 straight balls from Taylor Scott. Okay, they just announced some information about the swings and misses. Just swings and misses alone, there were 26 of them by the Rays tonight against Kikuchi. 27. 4 straight balls now by Taylor Scott, and that's going to put Josh Lau on first base and load up the bases. So just like that, the Rays have runners on first, second, and third. Bases are full. 2 outs. How can Scott throw 4 straight pitches, man? That's unbelievable. Next batter's Johnny DeLuca. Here comes the pitch from Scott. This one is a swing and bounced foul for strike 1. Finally, we get a strike. You can't guess what would have happened, but I do wonder what would have happened if they had left Kikuchi in to face that last batter. You never know. Next pitch, high and outside, ball 1, 1-1. That one was quite a ways out of the zone, about 5 inches high and outside. 2-2, 2 outs, bases loaded, 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. This one's hit foul, back and away for strike 2. Crowd cheers a little bit. Still a little lethargic. 1 ball, 2 strikes against Johnny DeLuca. Taylor Scott dealing on the mound. Here comes the pitch. This one's hit to right field. And Myers will actually float over and make the catch. Right center field. Jake Myers seems to give an exasperated exhale of air after that catch. It was into the gap, but he was able to run over and close it and make the catch for the final out. So the Astros get lucky there. Kikuchi doesn't have any more earned runs. Taylor Scott gets the lucky hit and out for the final of the inning. Why do I keep saying that? The count instead of the score. Keep thinking of the pitching, right? The score remains 2-2. The Astros have the chance again to put a run on the board and take the lead in this game. Let's see if they can do it. I'm going to try to update, if I can, the pitchers. I think I've got Scott, a picture of Scott I can update on the screen. I will see. Let me take a look. Taylor Scott. Yes, I do. I have Scott. I will update that. Where's the text? There it is. Taylor Scott is in for the Astros, but I don't know if there's going to be a pitching change yet for the Rays. We'll see. When we come back, I'll update that if I need it. There we go. Got it updated. Everything's updated. I don't mind the pitchers' duels too much as long as the Astros come out on top, but it's frustrating when the Astros can't get their bat on the ball, especially when they have runners on base. It's really frustrating when you see them have like 15 or 20 chances to score runners, and they only lose by like 1 run, and it's like 2-1 or something. That's so frustrating. Very first pitch to Jeremy Pena is hit sharply to the shortstop. He jumps on it early, but he's thrown out at first base. He hit it so hard that he had almost no time to beat it out. It was a one-hopper to the left of the shortstop. Not a very difficult play. 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th. That will bring up... Oh, it looks like that's it. They're having a pitching change. Baz is going to sit down after 80 pitches. Let's see what his stats are. So Baz pitches 5 1/3 innings, gives up 6 hits, 2 runs, both of those are earned, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Definitely not a bad performance at all. He didn't have I guess you could say he didn't have the impressive strikeout performance that Kikuchi did, but he got the job done, making the Astros strand runners. But right now, John Singleton is slated to come up and bat. Likely this early in the game, in the bottom of the 6th, they probably won't be pinch hitting for him, but with the pitching change, who knows? Singleton has a single and an actual RBI driving in a run for the Astros, his last at bat. So he will likely still remain in the game, and then he'll be followed by Jake Myers. We'll see if they can get something going here. I'm not sure who's going to be pitching for the Rays, but as soon as I get that information, I will update it for you. Tampa Bay Rays. Astros are 56 and 52 for the season right now. The Rays are 55 and 53. Let's take a look at the scores right quick and see what's going on. The Red Sox and Rangers are now in the bottom of the 6th. Red Sox still leading that game 9-5, so that's going all right for the Astros right now. Are the Mariners playing? I don't see... Oh, there it is. Okay, they're playing Philadelphia in the middle of the 1st, so they're just getting started. It's 0-0 in that game. Singleton gets the first pitch from Garrett Clevenger. That's a ball. 1-0 versus Singleton. No runners on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. That one's way inside for ball 2. 2-0. Singleton out to a good start against Clevenger. Man, Clevenger's kind of a chubby guy. He's got the dad bod going on the mound. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That one's high, but just in the zone for strike 1. 2-1 is the count. I'll see if I can get Clevenger's picture on the screen sometime this inning. It's difficult to do it for the opponents because I have to go find the picture and get it into the software program. Singleton gets another single. So McSingleton has 2 singles this game, and he has a 1-out single to get himself on for the Astros. Astros have a base runner on again. Another opportunity to take the lead in this game. Let's see. I want to say Clevenger, the way his name is spelled. I think they're pronouncing it Clevenger, but it looks like Clevenger. Clevenger. Cleve! And ground ball right up the middle, but it was misplayed, and there's not going to be any play. The second baseman scooped it up, but it bounced off his glove, and there's going to be an error, I believe. Singleton is safe at second, and Jake Myers is safe at first base. So Myers hit it right behind the pitcher. So it looks like the ball might have hit the base. Let's see. It did. Okay. So the ball hit the base. It actually hit second base just before it went into his glove. So it bounced off of his glove and went into the grass. He wasn't able to make a play. Now the Astros have runners on first and second with Victor Caratini now batting right-handed. Here's the first pitch to him. Swing and a miss for the first strike. Let me update the base runners here. Kind of exciting. Another weird play that would go on my weird play highlight reels for the Astros this year. They shouldn't count that as an error, but it looks like right now it is. That one's a little low in the zone, but it's called strike. That's 0-2. Caratini way behind in the count. A little bit of booing from the crowd. They didn't like the call, but could have gone either way. It clipped the edge of the zone. Not a great pitch to be hitting, but too close to call. 0-2. Here comes a pitch. Caratini makes contact, sends it way out into center. That might be a tag play for Singleton, and it is. Singleton will get to third. So runners will now be on the corners with 2 outs. So the Astros have a good opportunity with a runner on third base. And who's coming up to bat? That's going to be Mauricio Dubon with runners on the corners. Well, that's hilarious. As soon as I get Clevenger's picture and I'm about to load it up, they switch him out. They bring in a new pitcher. They're not going to let Clevenger face Mauricio Dubon with 2 outs. So they're going to make a pitching change here. So it's useless for me to load his picture into the screen and update that. But as soon as I get the other picture, I'll try to put it in there. Mike says, what's the home team's winning percentage when games are tied 8th inning or later? Let's see. I would say that right now, I mean, the Astros have a pretty good record at home. I mean, it's not stellar, but overall it's good. And from the I would say from the 7th inning on, if the game is tied, I don't know. I feel like the Astros would have a really good percentage, and here's why. Because I do remember that the last game I called, I was able to see some stats on the Astros' performance this season. And from the 7th inning to the 9th inning, they score a lot of runs. They score maybe even most of their runs from the 7th inning on. And in the 7th inning in particular, I believe they've scored most of their runs. So my guess is that at home from the 7th inning or 8th inning, the Astros have a really good chance, or probably a high percentage, of winning tied ball games. It's just my guess based on the information that I have. I don't know that specific information, but based on what I do know, probably is pretty good for the Astros. I can't tell you what ESPN predicts. They have a predictor. I think you probably know that. Right now, they're predicting the Astros to have a 67% chance of winning the game based on where it stands right now. And when it was tied at the beginning of the game, I think it was the Astros had a 62% chance. So they actually give them a better chance right now. It looks like Kelly is on the mound. Kevin Kelly is on the mound for the Rays. And first pitch to Dubon is way outside for ball one. He's got the call. Here comes the next pitch. That one is actually about 2 inches below the zone, but the umpire liked it a lot more than Dubon did. He let it go, but that's going to be strike one, 1-1. Astros with runners on the corners. 2 outs. Dubon at the bat, 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. That one is low again, out of the zone and a little outside. But once again, the umpire likes it. So apparently Dubon is going to have to start swinging at these pitches that are out of the zone in order to get or keep from striking out. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. That one's way outside. Runner still second. Myers is able to get to second. There was a throw from his knees. The catcher threw to second from his knees, but it was nowhere near second base. The second baseman came in and grabbed it. It was just a fake throw to the second baseman to lure the guy on third to come in, but he didn't. Next pitch to Dubon is inside, but he fouls it away. The count remains 2-2. So runners are now on second and third. So both runners on base are in scoring position. And the count to Dubon is even at 2-2. A good chance to get ahead. Let's see if he can do it. Here's the pitch. And this is fouled away on the right side. So Dubon is keeping the count even, rather, protecting that zone and not letting the umpire have another opportunity to call him out on a terrible pitch. Here comes the pitch, the second 2-2 pitch. This one's hit out to right field. It looks like it's going to be playable by the right fielder, and he does get over there and get it, no problem. The right fielder is Lau's messing with the crowd there. They're asking for the ball, and he was talking with them. It didn't look like he was going to give it to them easily, but unfortunately, that is the third out. Astros once again strand 2 base runners. Not surprising whatsoever. Always disappointing, never surprising. Go Tigers. Maybe that should be my theme motto. Always disappointing, never surprising. This is Astros baseball. That's so cynical. Oh man, I'm trying to move things around on the screen. Sadly, I have to remove the base runners. Score remains tied 2-2. What are you doing, Astros? What are you doing here? Let's count how many base runners they've stranded according to the game tracker. Now, by the way, these are stranded runners per batter. How many opportunities the Astros had to score somebody on base, all right? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 runners have been on base and left on base by a variety of batters today. Pena and Altuve and Bregman are the only 3 batters who've not left anyone on base. But the only reason that Altuve hasn't done that is because no one has been on base when he's batted. He doesn't have any hits. Brian Abreu is in. Not surprising. Top of the 7th, he will face the Tampa Bay Rays here. First batter is Jose Siri, delivered a little high and inside for ball 1, and I definitely have Abreu's picture. I can load that up pretty quick, I believe. Change that out. Next pitch is in there for a strike. Nice pitch by Abreu. This picture is a little large on the screen. I'm going to have to change that. Brian Abreu. I've got to type in the name manually, though. Got to change that manually. There we go. All right, next pitch is in there for a strike. 1-2 is the count against Siri. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 2. A half-hearted check swing, but he was easily able to stop on that one. 2-2. By the way, the 26 swings and misses by Kikuchi, that's a career high for him. So he was a strikeout king today, that's for sure. I'm not going to change the... It seems that the Rays are going to be changing their pitchers out regularly, so I'm not going to make any changes right now until they stick with a guy for a while. Next pitch is a swing and a miss. Abreu gets a strikeout. Siri goes down swinging on that outside pitch. That's 1 away here in the top of the 7th. 88-mile-per-hour slider. That was a beautiful pitch. He's shaking his head, Siri is, as he goes into the dugout. I would be too, swinging at that pitch. Completely fooled. Yusei Kikuchi comes up to bat. Very first one, he hits really hard off into the crowd on the third base side. Strike 1. That one went way up into the upper deck. He got around on it way too early. 0 for 2 today with a ground out, double play ball, and a strikeout. Here comes the next pitch. This one's hit straight up. Caratini goes back, but he's not going to have a play. It's going to float into the crowd for strike 2. 0-2. Abreu out ahead in the count against Jose Caballero. Let's see here. Next pitch. Now, that pitch is called strike 3, which is all fine and dandy, but yeah, I will say that it was a good 3 inches off the plate, so the umpire was being pretty lenient right there. It's in the Astros' favor, but for Caballero, pretty disappointing. But that's another strikeout for Abreu. Now there are 2 outs. He's going to be facing Alex Jackman. Hugh Jackman. Alex Jackson. First pitch to him is low and away for ball 1. Stats today for Alex Jackson are 0-2. Batting 104 for the season. Wow. Strike. That one was high and inside, right on the corner of the zone. Top of the 7th, the Red Sox are still crushing the Rangers 9-5. Let's hope that stands. 1-1 is the count against Jackson. Here comes the pitch. Way high, 97. A good 2 feet above the zone there. I don't know how Caratini caught that without standing up. That was crazy. His arm went straight up like the Statue of Liberty on that one. Statue of Liberty catch. 2-1. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss on the lower outside corner. That's strike 2. 2-2. 1 strike away from ending this inning. I need to try to see if I can correct this chat a little bit and get it more in the box there. Yeah, there we go. That's better. It was kind of sticking out and bothering me. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fouled away to the right side off into the crowd. Count remains 2-2. Abreu looking pretty good. He's got a smile on his face. He seems to be focused, locked in. That's what I like to see. When Abreu is locked in and unrattled, he's a very scary pitcher. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one's low and away. Doesn't draw the swing there, so that's going to be a full count. Ray's trying to extend the inning here with 2 outs. Let's see if Abreu can get the final strike. Here comes the pitch. In there for a bounce to Alex Bregman, who makes a play over to first. No problem. Out number 3. So Abreu gets the ground ball for the 3rd out of the inning. 2 strikeouts, 1 ground out. And Alex Bregman, who just got that out, is going to be the leadoff batter. No, I'm sorry. Yep, Alex Bregman is going to be on deck. I'm sorry. My hero, Jose Altuve, is coming up to bat, and he'll be followed by Alex Bregman. And then the ice-cold Yordan Alvarez. Bregman actually has 2 hits this game, and they're talking about recently, now that we're in August, they're talking about how Bregman performs. A lot of people are talking about that, how he tends to be really, really hot in August. Fine by me. We need Bregman to be hot, starting from now through the end of the year. And other players Singleton has come through today. Singleton's only batting .234 for the year, not stellar. But he's come through today with a couple of big hits, a couple of singles, but 1 really big hit scored a run. Myers has a sacrifice fly that scored a run. So both of the Astros' runs have come off of their 2 lowest ERA guys today, despite all of the other guys getting on base. Now, those guys did set up the opportunities for Singleton and Myers. I believe that Diaz and Pena, back-to-back innings, got on base and were stranded one time by both Singleton and Myers, unfortunately. But then the next time their bats came around, the same thing happened. Diaz and Pena got on, and Singleton and Myers were able to convert. So the bottom of the order for the Astros, getting at least a little bit of that scoring action done, a little bit of that work done, while the Astros' main guys at the top of the batting order, other than Bregman, their first 3 batters aren't doing anything. Bregman has 2 hits. Altuve and Alvarez, none. But Jose is up to bat right now. Let's see if he can get his bat going. Very first pitch is on the inside corner. He doesn't swing, but that's a strike. Yep. 7th in the American League. Jose Altuve, rather, is batting .308. .308 from the 7th inning on, which is actually just a little bit better than his overall average. His overall average is .304. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. And he hits this one also right to the second baseman, who doesn't even have to move to get it. That's back-to-back ground outs for Altuve right to the second baseman. Altuve making some light contact, but not really putting it where he needs to. So out number 1. Kevin Kelly is still on the mound. Could try to update that. Let's see if I can do it. Save his image. Opponent. Rays. First pitch to Bregman is in there for a strike. Kevin Kelly. 0-1 is the count against Alex Bregman. Here comes the next pitch from Kelly. He check swings, but that ball is in there on the outside corner, a 77-mile-per-hour breaking ball for strike 2. So quickly 0-2. Bregman is down. That's disappointing. He takes that one for a ball. The pitch that he went after was actually a sweeper. He's able to lay off of that one. Next pitch is hit over to the shortstop. That's going to be a pretty easy play for him. He fires over to first. Bregman will be put away. for the second out of the inning. So here in the bottom of the seventh, the Astros kind of going down quietly. This is a good opportunity for Yordan Alvarez to actually do something. He's 0 for 3 in this game, and he's about 0 for 1,000 in his last 1,000 at-bats. That's how I feel right now with Alvarez. First pitch is way off the plate for ball one. I wish I had some more stats, but I guess you could say that maybe over the last 30 at-bats, Alvarez has looked absolutely terrible. Next pitch is way inside for ball two. He gave the ball a good ride earlier, way out into like the second upper deck, but it was foul. And then the next one he drove out close to the warning track. But that's the closest he's come to doing anything in a while. Next pitch is way off the plate. I say way off, it's about 3 inches off, but the umpire called it for strike one. Should have been a 3-0. Should have been a 3-0 count. That was a sinker way off the plate. Good grief. 2-1. Here comes the next pitch. This one is hit on the left field. Finally a single, a very weak opposite field single by Alvarez. He gets on base with 2 outs. So when Alvarez does manage to get a hit recently, it continues to be just a kind of a weak little scoop hit. I've seen him get trickle hits, little grounder hits through the hole, little singles. He looked kind of disappointed after he hit that ball. He hit it, and he just kind of tossed his bat over like, it's okay. Yep. I feel the same way about it, Alvarez. Yiner comes up and hooks one immediately out into left field. That could have been a great extra base hit and potentially scored Alvarez, but it sails off just barely into the crowd. So that'll be strike one. Man, Alvarez really got close on that one. So we'll put Yordan on first there. I got that updated. 0-1 count. Here comes the pitch from Kelly after a long delay. This one's fouled away. That'll be strike two. 0-2 with 2 outs, 1 runner on. Here I am trying to update the opponent's pitcher's name, Kevin Kelly. Still haven't done that. I changed the pitcher, though. I mean, the picture of the pitcher. There we go. Got it changed finally. Here comes the next pitch to Diaz. That's going to be outside for ball one, 1-2. Good eye. Bottom of the seventh. Astros just have 7 outs here to take the lead. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Diaz. That one's way outside, taken for another ball, 2-2. Oh, they showed a fan out in the crowd who fumbled around with that ball from Diaz. He finally got it. Uh-oh, it looks like it's going to be an extra base hit for Diaz. He hits that out in the left field. Yordan is able to make the turn and get over to third, and Diaz slides in safe. Yordan is going to go home. He's going to score. There's a wild throw. That is an excellent play there. Good heads-up base running once again by the Astros. A nice hit out to left field, sending Yordan over to third. By the time the left fielder got over there, he fired over to second base, trying to get Diaz as he was sliding in for a double at second base. There was a slight pause he made because he was trying to hold Yordan up at third base, but because of that double pump, Diaz was able to slide in safe at second. The second baseman bobbled the ball, quickly recovered, and tried to throw it home to get Alvarez, but Alvarez was safe by a mile. The Astros take the lead 3-2. Amazing. Yiner Diaz comes through yet again. He continues to be the GOAT for the Astros right now. Man. Pena comes up and delivers a grounder to first. He's not going to be able to beat that out, and that's going to do it for the inning, but Diaz once again comes through and does his job for the Astros, giving them the lead 3-2. Man, he is the man right now. He really is. I wonder if we took away all of Yiner Diaz's hits over the past 2 months, how would that change the Astros stats right now? How would that change the results of their games? It would be probably insane, I believe. That's how I feel about it. Just based on what I've seen, it appears to me that he has been of such benefit. It's ridiculous. Extra inning game, I'm calling it. Dang, the second I said that, the Astros scored. That's the way it always works, right? It's so funny because even when I'm calling these games, like, for example, Jake Myers, his overall batting average is not that good, and he comes up, and I've seen him come to bat many times in a row, and the count is 0-2, 0-2, 0-2, and he winds up striking out or grounding out, or flying out, and he's just consistently not getting hits and not getting on base. And I start talking about that. I'm like, well, Jake Myers is down in the count again, 0-2, and he's 0 for the past 10 at bats, and then he hits a home run. Right as I'm saying that. So I kind of feel like I should always say those things, It's the same with Alvarez right now. Just keep saying Alvarez is not doing anything. He's just so cold. And then he gets a base hit. It's like they do the opposite. So it's in that same vein, right? But I'm glad to see the Astros finally convert, especially since they already had 2 outs. Jordan got on base with 2 outs, and he was just on first. But because of the double pump at third base and then the bad throw. Yeah, there were 2 bad throws there. There were 3 mistakes really made by the Rays that allowed the Astros to score. Jordan was on first base. Diaz hits it out to deep left field. By the time the left fielder got to it, he pumped at third base thinking he could get Alvarez, but he realized he couldn't get him, so then he fired to second to try to get Diaz. But because of that delay, he wasn't able to get him. It wasn't fielded cleanly by the second baseman, and Jordan ran home at that point, and he made a wild throw to home, so there was no chance for him to get Alvarez. Ryan Presley is in, and the first batter he's facing is Yandy Diaz. On the second pitch, Diaz gets a hit, and he's on first base just like that. Presley has been sketchy for most of the year, but in his most recent starts over the past month, he has many innings that are scoreless. He was shaky, if I remember correctly, in his last outing, but let's see if he can lock down the Rays right here. This one is grounded through the left side. The very first pitch to Taylor Walls goes through for another single. So just like that, the Rays have runners on first and second before I can even update it on the screen. So Presley has 3 pitches and 2 runners on. Now, given Presley's past tendency to give up long hits, it's a little worrisome. He needs to lock it in right here. He's facing Brandon Lau. First pitch to him is outside for ball 1. Reverse jinx them to a victory. Yeah, that's right. Reverse jinx. Next pitch, swing and a miss. That'll be strike 1. Astros up to 9 hits. 9 hits and only 3 runs. The Rays with 2 runs on 5 hits. 2 of those hits coming just now versus Presley. No outs, 2 runners on. 1-1 is the count against Brandon Lau. Next pitch is right on the corner. Called strike. Lau doesn't like it. I can't blame him, but it's the same thing they called on the Astros a couple of times. That ump seems to like that pitch a couple of inches on the outside corner. He hasn't been calling really well on those outside pitches. 1-2 is the count. This one's outside, way outside for ball 2. Counts even 2-2. 2 runners on, no outs. 2-2 count. Presley looking for a strikeout or a double play ball. Give us something good, Presley. Here comes the pitch. Now this is a ground ball. Singleton takes it to first base. The only play is going to be at first. So runners are going to advance to second and third. But they do get 1 out at first base. The Rays now have both their runners in scoring position with 1 out. Astros, Kikuchi and the Astros do all that work to just get 3 runs on 9 hits. And just like that, the Rays have 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out, thanks to Presley giving up 2 hits. And then an infielder's choice kind of sacrifice. Christopher Morel is up. Here comes, the very first pitch to him. He nails him in the back. He's going to walk him and load up the bases. And Morel walks over and takes a moment to recover. The coaches are going to come out and check on him. Man, he hit him hard right in the back. He drilled him in the center of the back. Goodness gracious. Presley trying to lose the game for the Astros here, put it out of reach. The Rays score 2 runs here. I don't think the Astros are going to win. Man, he nailed him right in the letters, right in the numbers rather. Coach is coming out to the mound to talk to Presley. They're having an infield meeting. Everybody's in. They might be buying some time to get somebody warming up in the bullpen. They should be if they're not. Yeah, Presley's one of those relievers right now that's walking a fine line with the Astros. The way he performs is so inconsistent. Anyone who's joining the stream, welcome in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. I hope you guys can like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Right now, I haven't even changed the picture. I still got Brian Abreu on the screen, but Ryan Presley is pitching. Here comes the pitch. The first pitch, check swing. Did he go around? They say didn't. That looked like a strike to me, but third base umpire says nope. Ball 1 to Josh Lau. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Presley on the mound looking for a ground ball double play to get them out of this inning. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lau batting .225 for the season. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Presley. In there for a strike. Nice movement on that ball. 84 miles per hour. Good pitch. Ryan Presley. I know I have his picture in here somewhere. Oh my gosh, I don't. How can I not have Presley's picture in my folder? Can't change that yet. Next pitch is a ball. 2-2. The count is even. Josh Lowe is thinking double play. He wants to ground into a double play and make the Astros fans happy. That's what he wants to do. He wants to go home and rethink his life. Here comes the pitch. Fouled back, just barely, to stay alive at 2-2. Presley working to get either the strikeout or the double play, but I would much prefer the double play. Let's see a nice double play ball here. 2-2 pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss. He's got the strike. Beautiful changeup there by Presley. Completely fooled him. Went down really low. And speaking of low, Lau could not get low enough to hit that ball. He missed it by probably about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Good pitch. About 8 or 10 inches off the ground. Here comes the first pitch. This one's hit straight up. The very first pitch to DeLuca. Caratini's under it. No, it doesn't come down. It gets stuck in the roof. That would have been a first pitch, 3rd out for the Astros, but it goes up into the rafters and gets stuck. It never comes down. Tough break there for Presley and the Astros. That will be strike 1. Man, that ball went literally straight up. Caratini was right under it, but it went so high it just got stuck in the roof at Minute Maid Park. That's crazy. Next pitch is a ground ball taken by Bregman. Should be an easy out. It is. The Astros get out of the inning as Bregman fires over to Singleton to once again end the inning. So despite loading up the bases, Presley, sweating like crazy, comes off probably with his heart racing. The Astros defense coming through and a little bit of timely pitching there to save his butt. Goodness gracious. Wow. Whew, that was close. All right. Let's see if I can get Presley's picture here. I don't know why I don't have Presley's picture. That's absolutely crazy. I have a folder with all of the Astros pictures, the pitchers' pictures, and I changed them out. I don't know why I don't have Ryan Presley's picture. I update these as they change pictures. It's probably useless for me to change because Ryan Presley will definitely not be in the game when they come back. Most likely they're going to have Josh Hader in the game in the 9th inning. And as long as Hader doesn't give up a home run, the Astros will probably be okay. So Hader, just don't give up a home run, okay? You've already given up too many. You're not allowed to give up any more. I'm saying it right now. I'm saying it right now. But I am going to take a guess and change the Astros pitcher to Josh Hader because it's just a guess. I think he'll be in the 9th inning. We'll see if I called it correctly in just a moment. But the Astros about to come up to bat. Let's see if Kevin Kelly is still in the game. All right, guys. John Singleton is coming up to bat. He's had a pretty good game so far. He's got an RBI and a couple of singles. Single McSingleton. Very first pitch to him almost takes his ankles out for ball 1. There's a new pitcher on the mound. Hunter Big, or is it Biget? I don't know how to pronounce that. Second pitch to him, right down the middle, swing and miss. 1-1. 96 mile per hour heater. Gets it past Singleton. Astros looking for their 10th hit of the game. Maybe Single McSingleton can get a third single. Here comes the pitch. Low. I can't believe the umpire didn't call that one. 98, about an inch below the zone. He's been calling those. Wow. They just showed some crazy highlights of two Astros scoring right behind each other. That was nuts. 98, about 2 inches outside the zone, called strike 2. That's the inconsistency that I'm talking about from the umpire. Sometimes calling those strikes, sometimes calling them balls. That's not helpful for the batters. 2-2 is the count against Singleton. Here comes the pitch. This one's hit out to left field, but if soars out into the crowd, that's going to be a continuation of the at-bat. 2-2. Count remains 2-2. Oh, that was a highlight of Biggio, I believe they were showing just now. Next pitch is a ground ball. This one's going to be straight to the second baseman, no problem. He fires it over to first, so no single for Singleton this time. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. They haven't updated the pitching information on my screen, but they have a guy named Big. Hunter Big. Jake Myers is up. Here's the first pitch to him. High for ball 1. Next pitch to Jake Myers is in there for a strike. 1-1 is the count. Next pitch. In there again for strike 2. 1-2 against Jake Myers. Biggie is what they're calling him. That's how they pronounce his name, Biggie. Hunter Biggie. Hunter Biggie Smalls? Myers took a little break. He's back in the box. Biggie's got the call. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one's a little outside. That evens the count, 2-2. Hunter Biggie. Next pitch is outside for a full count to Jake Myers. Here comes the full count pitch to Myers. Swing and a miss on the outside corner. Myers goes down swinging. Hardly surprising given his performance overall, but always disappointing. Once again, always disappointing. Let's see here. Opponents, Rays. Hunter Biggie. First pitch to Caratini is a strike. He's now batting left-handed. Not much going for Caratini today so far. He's 0 for 3. Next pitch he takes a little inside for ball 1. Count is even at 1-1. Astros really need to try to find a way to get an insurance run here, at least one. But they're looking quiet right now. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. 1-1 count on Victor Caratini. Here comes the next pitch. This one's hit out to left, but foul ball right out in the crowd. 99 mile per hour. Good contact, just got around a little too late on that ball. First career no-hitter for Blake Snell of the Giants. First career complete game. Big news over in the National League. That pitch is fouled away. Count remains 1-2. I haven't been able to update this picture for Biggie, but I might not be able to do it before the inning is over. Next pitch is check swing. They say he didn't go around. That'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see. This picture for Biggie, they don't have a lot of good pictures of him. Has he not been with the Rays for very long? I guess not. I don't know. Hard to say. Next pitch to Caratini is a little high. That's going to be a full count. Full count pitch. It's right in there. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So Caratini goes down. He's 0 for 4 now. And the Astros, even though they go 3 up and 3 down, at least they didn't strand any base runners this time. There's always an upside, always a silver lining. So we're going to go into the top of the 9th. Astros leading by 1, 3-2 in a very low-scoring affair. Despite having 9 runs, the Astros have missed a tremendous amount of opportunities to bring runners around. And after a really rough first inning for Kikuchi, he went through a string of strikeouts, tied a franchise record with 8 strikeouts in a row, came out in the beginning of the 6th, and from then the Astros were able to shut down the Rays. The Rays have had a lot of base runners on since then. They got a couple of base runners on in the 6th. They had bases loaded in the last inning. Presley almost blew the Astros lead. And my guess now is that Josh Hader's in, and according to my information, he is. He'll be facing Jose Siri, followed by Jose Caballero, and then Alex Jackson, unless there are some type of pinch-hitting changes. If there are, I will let you know. Let me see if I can change this information now. There we go. I'm trying to update the the Rays pitcher. Probably too late. If for some reason the Astros have to bat again in the bottom of the ninth, it's doubtful that they'll be facing the same pitcher again. But I'm going to go ahead and change it anyway, just so it isn't confusing for you guys. Hunter Biggie Smalls. There we go. All right, I officially predicted it correctly as Josh Hader comes to the mound. If you look at the actual save opportunities that Hader has had over about the last 22 games, or 25 games rather, it's pretty good. And his ERA is not bad, 2.49. Opponent's average is just 153, which is excellent. But he's just given up too many long balls. We'll see if he can shut them down today. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1 against Jose Siri. 83 miles per hour. Update the bases. Oh, holy crap. Wow, I think I went through the whole last inning without updating those. Siri hits a fly ball to shallow left field. Jeremy Pena is able to float back and get it, so Astros 2 outs away from ending this game. Nice leadoff fly ball. Hader's now got 1 out under his belt. It's going to be facing Jose Caballero. That was a really good play by Pena because it was not too deep and it didn't appear as if Yordan Alvarez would have a chance to get it, so good play by Pena. First pitch to Caballero is a strike. A beautiful ball that the bottom fell out on. It bounced off the plate practically. Completely fooled Caballero, and he went around for strike 1. He's 0 for 3 today. Let's make it 0 for 4. Yeah, the Astros are playing a little deep. They're not wanting any extra base hits. Next pitch is also in the dirt, but this one taken for a ball. Count is even at 1-1. And I've got some nice cold coffee to finish off. All right. 1-1 is the count. Hader facing Caballero. The pitch is in. High fastball, check swing. He didn't go. That'll be ball 2. 2-1. Chas McCormick is now out in right field, apparently. Dubon has moved to first base. So it looks like they've pulled Singleton. Next pitch is right on the outside. Could have been called either way. And Caballero's pretty upset about it, but it's called strike. Counts even 2-2, and he calls timeout from the umpire. A replay on the screen shows that it was less than an inch outside the zone. But like I said, the umpire has been very inconsistent on those calls today. 2-2. Here comes the pitch from Hader. Whoa, he hit him. Completely lost control and hit him on the left shoulder. Loses that beautiful 2-2 count and an opportunity to get another out. Puts a runner on. So the winning run is going to come up for the Rays. Alex Jackson, I believe. So the Astros have drilled a couple of guys. Both Presley and Hader in back-to-back innings have drilled a batter. 1 runner on. First pitch is inside for a ball. And I just remembered to update that runner pretty quickly that time. 1 out, 1 ball, 1 runner on here in the top of the 9th. Hader on the mound. He gets the sign. And here comes the pitch. Low and outside for ball 2. I've noticed that whenever the umpire makes Josh Hader mad, he tends to start throwing harder and get more strikeouts. I'd like to see him get angry. They have a pickoff opportunity at first base, And it looks like they're easily going to get him. Altuve charges him down and makes the tag. Altuve just charged him. He didn't even throw it. As soon as he got the ball, he just took off running, and Altuve's got a lot of speed. He was able to catch up and tag him on the back. That was a pretty funny play because Altuve could have tossed it to first, but he decided to just charge him down. He had a massive lead. Hader with an excellent pickoff to first. Altuve, as soon as he got the ball, he just took off and was able to tag him no problem. Caballero can't outrun Altuve. Excellent pickoff move, and then follow-up sprint by Altuve to get that tag. That's 2 outs. So Jackson now has no runners on with 2 balls and no strikes. Astros 1 out away from winning this game. That pitch goes Hader's way. Strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Really good move by Hader. They showed the replay there. That was a really good move by Hader to get that pickoff. And then a good hustle play by Altuve. Ooh, 96 miles per hour up and in, right on the corner of the zone. Could have been called either way. The crowd is booing as it goes the Rays' way. 3 balls, 1 strike. Thanks for letting me know, by the way, about the bases. And Hader, after getting the pickoff, decides to walk another batter, and I guess he just wants a guy on first base. So the Rays have 1 guy on first with 2 outs. So I got to take the runner and put him back on first. 2 walks for Hader. Well, actually, 1 hit batter and 1 walk by Hader. Cameron Misner is going to bat. Left-handed batter, batting .247 this season. The infield comes in. The hitting coach comes out to have a meeting with Hader and some of the infielders. Astros 1 out away here from winning this game by the skin of their teeth. Hader really needs to focus and shut this guy down and not give them an opportunity to move the base runner around. The crowd is on their feet, cheering a little bit, finally making some noise. They've been a little lethargic this game, in my opinion. Here comes the first pitch to Misner, right on the outside corner for strike 1. Perfectly placed pitch. Glad that the umpire actually called that one correctly. No balls, 1 strike. Top of the 9th, 0-1 to Misner. Hader delivering with 1 runner on. Here's the pitch. Fouled away on the outside corner. He's down 0-2. Yep, everybody's standing now, and they're clapping, they're cheering, they're wanting that strikeout. So Hader's ahead in the count, 0-2. 1 good, well-placed pitch will end the inning. Misner calls for a timeout for a moment to get readjusted. Crowd continues to cheer. They're getting louder now. That's good. Hader's got the signal. Come set, and here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside and low, taken for ball 1, 1-2. The Rays with 2 errors, 5 hits, and 2 runs. Astros no errors, 9 hits, 3 runs. We are just 1 strike away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Misner. Here's the pitch, and this one's hit up. Looks like it's going to be playable straight to Jordan. He's under it. And that's it. Out number 3. Hader does his job and shuts down the Rays in the 3rd inning. After a little bit of drama, Josh Hader now has 22 consecutive saves, which is the 2nd most in Astros history. He's only 2 behind Brad Lidge, who had 24 in 2005. He's ahead now. Oh, he's actually tied with Billy Wagner with 22. 1 more, he will take full control of the 2nd most all-time saves in a row for the Astros. That's excellent. So I'll do a quick recap for you guys of the game. Let me pull up the information here just to give you guys a quick recap of the game. Final is 3-2 in the favor of the Astros. The Astros had 9 hits and no errors. Thank goodness. They had a few too many errors recently. It's nice to see them go back to their true form and stop committing those errors. Tampa Bay had 2 runs off 5 hits, and they had 2 errors. Now, today was Yusei Kikuchi's first appearance with the Astros. Unfortunately, he does not get the win because the Astros were tied at the time he came out. But he had an excellent start for the Astros. Despite having a rough first inning and giving up 2 runs, he wound up with 11 strikeouts and went 5 1/3 innings, giving the Astros a nice glimpse of what he's capable of when he's locked in. After that, the Astros relievers came in and were a little shaky, but they held the Rays down to 0. Presley loaded up the bases and was able to get out of it. Abreu came in and did his job and got out of the inning, no problem. And then Hader, a little bit of shakiness. He hit a batter, had a good pickoff move, then walked another batter in the 9th, but once again was able to get out of it for his 22nd save in a row. Astros win this game. Just to give you an idea of what happened, Carlson for the Rays had the home run in the first inning to get the 2 runs on the board for the Rays, and that was all they would score in the game. In the 4th inning, in the bottom of the 4th, Singleton singled to right center field. Yainer Diaz was able to score. Pena moved to 3rd. Right after that, Myers hit a sacrifice fly deep to right, and Pena scored on that. So the Astros were able to tie it up in the bottom of the 4th. In the bottom of the 7th, that's when the Astros would finally pull ahead with the tiebreaker, when Yainer Diaz came through yet again and doubled to left field. And Alvarez was able to score because of the indecisiveness by the left fielder and the throwing error by the second baseman, or the fielding error primarily, and then the throwing error. So the Astros took the lead 2-3 and were able to hold it from there. I will say for the next game, the upcoming game, real quick, and then we'll be done for the day, just to let you know, Astros Game 2 versus the Rays at home, I will be calling that game. And I believe I will also be calling their Game 3. I believe that I'm able to do that too. So I hope you guys can join me tomorrow. This game tomorrow is going to be an hour earlier than today's game. So do click on my live video. It's already up. You can click on it and click to remind me, or remind you, but click, turn the bell on, all notifications, and you can click the button. I think it says notify me actually, and it will send a reminder to you to let you know that the live stream is going. But I'll be calling that game tomorrow morning. For you, it'll be in the evening if you are in the U.S. But tomorrow we've got scheduled on the mound Ronel Blanco and Zach Littell, I believe is how you say his name for the Rays. But Blanco had a little bit of extra rest because since Kikuchi came in, they made some changes. Blanco originally was supposed to start the game today, but he had an extra day of rest, so looking forward to him being fresh and ready for tomorrow's game. And hope to see you guys there. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll say again to my friend in the chat, Michael Ringiamo, thank you for being here, man. It was really cool to have you here. It would be awesome to have some commentating between us through the game. That would be kind of cool. Maybe we can do that sometime. But otherwise, it was great to have you in the chat. I really appreciate you being here. Just being in the chat, being here and supporting me. And that's the thing. Just being here and supporting me and having the video going live, all of that really helps me out. And it'll help my channel grow. I'm up to 23 subs. It's not a lot, but it did take a while for me to get beyond like 5 subs. And I'm really hoping that I can get this channel up to a few thousand at least. If I can get it to that point, it will definitely be worth keeping in the long run, I think. Yeah, good work, Brandon. Enjoyed it. Thanks so much, bro. And let's talk again soon. That's pretty much it for the live stream today. And I'm going to let you guys go and go grab myself some lunch. I've got some online classes to do here in about 1 hour. So I'm going to take this opportunity to go grab some food. But until next time, go Tiger Astros. This is Brandon, and I'll see you guys next time, tomorrow morning. All right. See you.